Welcome back. Video number 27, how to delete or remove or demote domain controller. There are three ways. I'm going to show you all three ways how to do it. First, count your fingers and toes, see what you have, what's in your domain, and what can be deleted. So I added two extra domain controllers to kind of have something to delete to show you. Now, the first thing you need to do, make sure you run your replication before you delete anything, because if there are any unsynced objects, you don't want to lose them. So I'm going to confirm these are the domain controllers in my domain. And let's run replication. And show me details and partitions. So I want to sync with a specific server. If I skip the middle part, it's going to sync with all registered partners. When you join your, when you promote your domain controller, you can specify syncing partners, all available writable domain controllers or specific ones. Okay, so the synchronization ran. Let's see the summary. No issues. The last three are the domain controls I'm going to be dealing with. I can delete just like that, which we're going to do next. But first, let's do it the right way. So you go to Server Manager. You kind of reverse what you normally do when you promote your domain controller, when you promote your server to be the domain controller. So you demote it. So you basically need to remove the roles. But can I do that? So if I can, then there's a problem because I can by accident remove. Okay, I can't. So I have to actually demote this domain controller first. Pretty much let the entire domain know, okay, this domain controller is being removed from the domain. It will no longer keep a copy of the domain controller and sync. I can force it. If I don't have to, I don't have to. When do I force it? If I try to delete it from another domain controller in a situation when this domain controller is, for example, not online and there's no way I can bring it back online. Proceed. Just want to confirm I only have one user. So after I remove my domain controller, I want to confirm I didn't lose anything. Okay, this server is holding DNS delegation, has a DNS delegation, so I need to make sure it's cleaned up. There may be situations when you want to keep it, or when you have other than Active Directory, other than DNS that's included in Active Directory replication, you may have some other domain names, any entries in your DNS. It's up to you. If it's a straightforward situation when you only have DNS that's part of your AD, then you can just select it and it will delete it. But there are two different things. Removing delegation or removing DNS are all two different things. The delegation is just part of AD. That's what we're dealing with. If you have any additional DNS entries, they're outside of Active Directory. They won't be touched. Okay, it's a normal process of removing. Okay, done. All right, let's confirm users and computers. Okay, that a little exclamation point in case you want to immediately promote this domain controller to this server to be the domain controller. You can do that. That's what this option is for. If you're sure you want to continue, all you have to do at this point is delete the roles, and you're pretty much done. The server has been demoted. It should not be listed in Active Directory as a domain controller. I hope it's clear. Now, let's just remove the roles. Again, DNS role, you can remove it. You can keep it. It's up to you. It will no longer sync with Active Directory. It will no longer resolve Active Directory object names or IPs. There are two other ways we can do that. Okay, let me clean up a little bit. So I no longer need this VM. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Wait until it's completely down. Okay, now I should be able to delete. Deleting a virtual machine without demoting the domain controller, it's not going to solve anything. It's actually going to generate lots of replication issues because domain controller still exists in your domain. It's just not physically reachable. Eventually, it's going to reach the tombstone period and it will be deactivated, but it's always wise to do it the right way. Okay, this is the second option. You just simply go into AD, domain controllers, right click on the object you want to remove, and just say delete. Because it's a domain controller, you're going to get this option. It's not going to let you delete the object just like that, like any other object. It's going to ask you to demote first. When you use this option if the actual domain controller you're trying to remove is not reachable. So you go to any other domain controller that participate in the replication, and then you can delete it this way. See if DC promo works. It doesn't work. So you just need to continue with this option. Yes, I want to delete. So this is pretty simple, but the first option is very granular. You can see you have a lot more control over this process. This one just simply cleans up for you and deletes the object. And it makes sense because if it's not reachable, you really have no way um, to control little details. You can, since you can't log in. All right, let's make sure replication and sites and services are also updated. Looks like they are. As you can see, both servers that I deleted no longer have replication partners listed, so they're just placeholders. Okay. Next, this is the third option. I added this domain controller to show you how to do it, how to demote this domain controller using metadata cleanup. So if your domain controller crashes, it's not bootable, you can't get into it, and you don't want to use the second option, you can use metadata. Metadata is it's a you'll see in a second. It's not a GUI click and drag option. You actually need to know what you're doing, and you have to pay attention because you can quickly delete the wrong server. So I have two domain controllers. I want to be able to delete the first one, but to do that, I'm going to have to use the other domain controller. Let's see what we have in DNS. This tells me domain controllers for the domain. I can see it. Go to sites and services to confirm replication partners. Okay, this domain controller 2-205. It looks like it's an active domain controller and it's actively syncing. You saw the partner replication partners listed. So let's see how metadata cleanup will get rid of it. CMD, NTDS util. We used this as a tool when we were resetting DSRM admin password. This time we're going to use metadata cleanup command. Pick your operation target. And we're going to connect. You have to type in the actual domain and then the domain name. Otherwise, you can get an error message. We're connecting to my domain. Since I'm logged in as a domain admin, it's using my credentials. Now quit to go back to the other prompt. Now, since I'm connected to the domain, I can see all domains connected and associated with my domain. Now I'm already in the domain. I selected my domain. Now I want to list the site. Since I only have the default site, so I can just use 0. For larger systems or some kind of distributed systems, you can have multiple sites if you want. I think you can do just fine with a single site, but it's up to you. So now I'm selected, I'm in the site. I want to list the servers in the site. So these are the servers listed inside my site. So now is a very important moment. Make sure you select the right server. Otherwise, you're going to delete the wrong machine. Okay, so it looks like my server is number 3. Type and select server and then the number, which is number 3 in my case. Okay, I made my selection. Yes, I'm going to go back to the root, but the selection is not gone. It's still there. Now I'm going to remove selected server, and it's going to just process my selection. Yep, looks like this is your last chance to confirm that you do what you're supposed to be doing. There's no mistake or a typo, and you're not actually trying to delete the server that's supposed to be online. Okay, so just read this instruction. If you're sure, hit yes. Done. Now let's quit, exit out, confirm it's fixed, it's removed. So it's supposed to be removed. The actual object should be removed. DNS should be cleaned up, and DSS, which is sites and services, the replication partner should be gone, meaning they should have been removed by now. So let's confirm. Yep, and my server just disappeared. Just disappeared. Now let's look at Active Directory domain controllers. Same here. So far, so good. And now let's look at the DSS side. Beautiful. So the servers that were listed there a second ago, they're no longer there. This is how metadata works. Test it in your lab before you do anything in the production. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video. Have a nice day.